Joining us now to discuss this, the president of Accuracy in Media, because the media has been to blame for a lot of the coverage when it comes to Miss Gay and how the American people are perceiving her, our good pal, Adam Guillette, back on the program. Adam, right off the top here, I want to show this headline from the Associated Press, because you're an Accuracy in Media guy. That's your company. So is this accurate by the Associated Press when they post this BS yesterday about her resignation? Harvard President's resignation highlights new conservative weapon against colleges. And it just says plagiarism. So they're trying to say that the plagiarism accusation was made up by conservatives to push a black woman out. Really?
Well, it's incredible because they're suggesting to us that only conservatives care about plagiarism, just as previously they tried to suggest that only conservatives care about anti-Semitism. And I'll tell you, she's half right. There is a racism issue at Harvard. It's anti-Semitism. And she failed to deal with it. And it's for that reason that she got the boot. And it wasn't just a couple conservatives angry about it. As you pointed out, nearly 250,000 Americans used our action alert to send a message to the Board of Trustees saying that it was time for her to go. We didn't do a racial litmus test amongst those 250,000 Americans, but I can guarantee that there were minorities on there.
Yeah, and I'm sure that some of the big donors that threatened to pull their money were probably Jewish and possibly minorities and said, no more money from me if you keep her in charge. But again, it was all because of gender and race. Just look at what the Associated Press said. Come on, Adam, how could the major mainstream media be lying to us?
Well, it's funny. I spoke with the same Associated Press a few weeks back, and they asked me if I was worried about violence. And I said, well, yeah, I've been swatted 9 times. I get death threats every day. They're harassing my family, my staff. And they said, no, we mean violence towards the students. And I said, well, sure. Some of these Jewish kids have been attacked at Columbia and NYU. And they said, no, we mean towards the Palestinian kids at Harvard. And I said, well, thankfully, I'm not aware of a single violent incident towards Palestinian kids at Harvard. And they said, well, yeah, but some of them are scared. Oh, okay. They really want to report on the hypothetical violence as opposed to the real violence because it suits their narrative.
How about the fear of 16.5 million Jews on the planet who have to fear of being put into extinction because of radical ideology like the scum, the vermin that make up Hamas or Hezbollah or any Middle Eastern faction of terror group out there who say death to Israel, death to the West. That's actual violence. They're killing people. On the 7th of October, they invaded a country and killed people. I don't see anybody invading Muslim countries and saying, let's kill all the Muslims. But I see a hell of a lot of people throwing Jew hate out there.
That's right. And you say terrorist group. I spent a lot of time at these college campuses. That might have been a student group who said those things. At George Washington University after October 7th, they were saying glory to the martyrs. That's how they refer to the Hamas fighters, the terrorist scum that you refer to. They say glory to our martyrs. When I was at Columbia, they were saying things like, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, which is an ethnic cleansing slogan. That means either kill all of the Jews or forcibly depopulate them. We heard the same thing and experienced the same violence at Harvard. These student groups are merely amateur JV terrorist group wannabes.
Yeah, but Miss Gay was forced to resign because of misogynistic, old racist white men. That's what they want you to believe. Final question to you. You brought up swatting. Over the holidays, there were a bunch more cases of swatting. The Secretary of State in Maine, who tried to pull Trump off the ballot, was swatted. George Soros was swatted. Marjorie Taylor Greene was swatted. Some of her adult kids were swatted. You've been swatted like 9 times. Even your family's been swatted. This has got to end. Somebody's going to get killed, and I'm sticking up for both sides here. Swatting crazies on the left or swatting good conservatives like yourself and Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's wrong. An officer's going to get hurt. Somebody innocent in one of the homes is going to get hurt. This crap's got to stop.
Well, we need to consistently condemn all violence. And while swatting is not exclusive to the left, clearly, as what we've seen, people on the left have been swatted recently. But what I do see when I visit these campuses is that these students think violence is justified. When Riley Gaines was assaulted at St. Fran State and I visited there, these people said, well, she expected it. She was looking for a fight and she got a fight. Yet, oddly enough, they think that words are violence, but they seem to defend real, actual violence. That's dangerous, and that's what leads to escalations.
Well, that's because the radical liberal left agenda and the mainstream media have told these young people that it's okay, that if you think you're socially justified to carry out violence to make your presence, your ideology, or whatever known, that's okay, as long as it's against the other side. And that's what's wrong, because I will always condemn and call out violence, but not free speech. You can have all the free speech you want. That's how we identify the people that are horrific folks among us. How are you going to know they're a racist or a homophobe or whatever it may be if we don't let them speak their hate? So you've got to let them say it, then you condemn it on both sides of the aisle. Adam Guillette, President, Accuracy in Media, as always, stay safe. We appreciate your vigilance. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.